Muslims view Islam as a very beneficial religion, not just in a moral sense to help govern society, but also when it comes to the aspect of health. So let's look at 10 ways Islam helps you stay healthy according to Muslims. Welcome back to another episode of FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and I'm really excited to share this episode with you. There's a lot of fascinating and interesting information that I definitely don't want you to miss, so be sure to watch all the way from 10 to number 1. So let's get started. Starting at number 10, eating slowly. There's an Islamic teaching that encourages Muslims to actually take their time to eat. You know, slow down, chew your food properly before you just gulp down and swallow everything. This is because it takes your brain some time to actually register that your stomach is full, so eating slowly actually helps make sure that you don't consume any excess food before your brain gets the signal that you're full. Also, another benefit that's noted on top of, not overeating is that you can actually enjoy your food a lot more. And I've experienced that because when I chew my food and just enjoy it and just take my time with it, I love it more, and I love food already. Also, moderation in diet is another principle in Islam. This is something that is greatly stressed, so not having too much as well as not having too little. Not just when it comes to food, but like anything in life. There's actually a verse in the Quran, as a matter of fact, it's verse 31 of Surah Al-Araf, and it says, "Eat and drink, but be not excessive. Indeed, he likes not those who commit excess." Also, there is a hadith narrated by Tirmizi, and that hadith says this: 1/3 of the belly with food, another third with drink, and leave 1/3 empty for easy breathing. So definitely you want to eat enough so that your body does get the nutrients. You don't want to starve yourself or anything, but you also don't want to eat too much. So everything in moderation. Again, this principle applies to not just food, but other aspects of life as well. Number 8, waking up early. This is another benefit. Prophet Muhammad, as a matter of fact, he got up and he prayed very early. On one occasion, he was reported to say these words: "Oh Allah, bless my nation in their early mornings." You'll find another passage about waking up early in the hadith, and this one is narrated by Sunan ibn Majah. When the Prophet used to set out his army, he would send them at the beginning of the day. Sakr al-Ghamdi was a man engaged in trade. He used to send his goods out at the beginning of the day, and his wealth grew and increased. So there you go. This is also another passage that Muslims look to as some good business advice. Number 7, also there's a principle of disease control found in Islam. Muslims believe that this stems all the way back to the Prophet Muhammad over 1300 years ago. If you weren't even familiar with the term pandemic by now, I'm sure all of you have probably gotten tired of hearing that term. It's reported that Prophet Muhammad said these words: "If you hear of an outbreak of a plague in a land, do not enter it. But if the plague outbreaks out in a place while you are in it, do not leave that place." Kind of sounds like quarantine and social distancing. It's also reported that he said these words: "Those with the contagious diseases should be kept away from those who are healthy." Again, that's a very important health principle, because if somebody is infectious, of course, one of the best options is to isolate them so that the disease doesn't spread until they get better. There's another benefit found in terms of alcohol consumption in Islam. Not that you to drink alcohol though, but this is actually a prohibition of alcohol. Alcohol causes many different diseases in the body. It damages your liver, it reduces concentration, and it can also lead to diseases like cancer as well as Alzheimer's disease. So because of all the negative aspects of alcohol, this is why it's forbidden in Islam. Speaking of forbidden things though, I do have to let you know that we did an entire series about haram, or forbidden things according to the religion of Islam. If you haven't seen that series, there's part 1, part 2, and part 3 currently at the time of filming this episode. I'll link to them below in the video description section, as well as I'll have other videos about different religions. So if you're interested in learning about other religions as well, you can find that link to that playlist filled with those videos below in the video description section as well. Number 5 brings us to ablutions, known as WUDU and GHUSL. These are considered to be very important aspects when it comes to prayer in Islam. On a regular basis, it's even said that Muslims cannot perform prayers with having a body that's not clean, or even in a place that's dirty. So before prayers, you're to wash yourself. Of course, it is a good practice to just make sure that you wash away all the dirt and bacteria. So on top of the spiritual symbolism in this practice, it also is a good practice to just keep your body washed and clean. Which kind of leads us to our next point, actually, when we talk about hygiene. So hygiene, of course, you know, washing your body, but also keeping your mouth clean, brushing your teeth, using some mouthwash or whatever, putting on some deodorants, keeping yourself just really nice and well groomed really helps to reduce any kind of disease or bacteria festering on your body or inside of your body. It's believed by Muslims that the Prophet Muhammad said these words: "The Archangel Gabriel continuously ordered me to clean my teeth until I thought it would be made compulsory." Muslims are also advised to make sure that they keep their fingernails cut as well, because you know, bacteria can get caught under them. Number 3 deals with exercising. Now, the Quran doesn't specifically mention any kind of exercise to do, but it's believed that the Prophet Muhammad's life was completely filled with all sorts of different recommendations to make sure that you stay active. Prophet Muhammad, he advised Muslims to actually teach their children how to do things outside, like go swimming, how to ride a horse, how to shoot bow and arrows. Also, it's reported that he himself would walk at a very fast pace, and even he would race with his wife Aisha. There's also a lot of emphasis put on doing other physical activities around the house, cleaning up in the kitchen, just doing everyday chores, cutting firewood, whatever, just staying active. Number 2 leads us to prayer. Now, this is something that's not necessarily seen as something that can actually keep you healthy, but according to Muslims, just that repetitive physical movement and activity that you're doing while you're praying, it actually reduces your chances of developing lower back pains if you do it properly. Also, it's reported that studies have shown that doing prayers, it actually helps to eliminate anxiety, and we all know that anxiety can actually affect our body in a negative way. At number 1, this leads us to fasting. And fasting is something that is obligatory for all healthy adult Muslims to do during the month of Ramadan. Fasting helps you to balance out your diet, it helps to improve blood cholesterol, it helps reduce gastric acidity, and also prevents constipation and other type of digestive issues. Of course, do not fast in excess, because if you do that, it can prove detrimental, although there are some benefits that can come out of fasting. Over in the Quran, it says these words: "O you who believe, fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, so that you can learn taqwa, which is good deeds and having your mind on God." And that's found in Surah 2 verses 183. Alright guys, so that was a look at 10 ways that Islam helps you stay healthy. Definitely let me know your thoughts and comments about anything that I talked about in this episode down below. Also, remember those recommendations to other videos that I mentioned. The links to those are below in the video description section. And like always, it's awesome hanging out with you here on FTD Facts and just chatting with you guys, sharing some new information with you. Stay awesome, stay educated, and I'll see you in the next episode.